How dare you, Davi? How dare you, Cassie? How dare you, Mo? How dare you devalue the marriage proposal that was made without the engagement ring? How dare you?
What?
Wait a minute, what?
Early in the Bert Show, we have a Bert Show listener that proposed to his girlfriend without an engagement ring, right? And we've been debating it back and forth for a couple of different days now. So today will be the last day we actually talk about it. But we got an email from a Bert Show listener that was laughing at our comments because he did the exact same thing. I can see that you guys are already taken back. Like, what? What did I say? What, Mo? What?
I don't know what I did. What I do? I'm excited.
I don't remember what I said, but I'm assuming it was hoes before bros, and I was trying to get my girls that bling bling.
Yes. Well,
okay.
All right. So here is the email that this dude sent. So if you're not listening, the real debate was, this particular guy had a decision to make, right, Cassie? Like, because he had a business proposition coming up as well. So money was tight.
He had been saving money specifically for an engagement ring. And then finally all the pieces fell into place for this business thing he's been wanting to do forever. And so he decided to spend that money on the business thing. And then he wanted to know if he could go ahead and propose anyway, even though he didn't have a ring.
Okay. So this email says, Bercho, I usually agree with you guys on most subjects, but you really had me laughing last week. Did all, capital letters, all of you guys say that there has to be a ring as part of the marriage proposal? It felt like Bert was kind of silent on the whole thing. All right, so like Davi says, she don't really remember what she said. Sometimes some of these segments feel like they run into each other, so let's go over it. Tommy, what was my stance on this? It's not the ring that makes the proposal, right? It's the ask, and it's the yes, and it's the verbal commitment that this is happening right here. Okay, so I'm a little bit more deep. I've got some depth to me. All right. Tommy, what was Davi's reaction?
You can get like a little silver wedding band to propose with. I mean, that's not going to have a shiny diamond on it, but the ring is round. It has no end. That's how long we're going to be in love. Like that's the whole symbolism behind the ring. So you can get like a little wedding band, propose with that, and be like, down the line, I'm going to get you the ring that you deserve because you're a princess. But right now, daddy's got to work.
All right. So a little something, even though you're saying, hey, I understand the financial situation. Give her something, right?
Yeah, like a $50 wedding band.
Little $50. Something's got to be on that finger to make it legit. What was Mo's reaction?
I think it's a case-by-case basis. You got to really know your lady on this one. There might be a woman or two somewhere who would be okay with you not having a ring. But I do think you should get something with the promise of filling it later. But if you're going to go that route, man, that proposal got to be grade A. Like, you really got to bring it. But with that being said, I wouldn't try it.
All right, go above and beyond is what I'm hearing from Mo. So long as if there's not going to be anything, you better make it up for it in other ways. Yes?
Yes, and the proposal. If you'd have nothing, you got to have a grade A proposal, but you should have something, anything. It could be from Walmart, Claire's, wherever, just something.
Okay, and I saved the best for last. Cassie.
You gotta have a ring. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it out there. I know it's not about the ring, but you have to have some kind of symbol. Because then it doesn't feel, if that's what she's expecting, it doesn't feel complete. But maybe what you do is there's a rock called morganite, which is shinier and prettier and better looking than diamonds and hella cheaper. You can get like a morganite ring for $29. It's beautiful. Get it for her and then explain what it is and tell her it's a placeholder for down the line for after you've launched the business, and you can really get her what she really wants if she wants something different. But you have to have some kind of symbolic thing to give her.
All right, and the most explosive thing that Cassie might have said was that the engagement ring might even be more important than the actual spending money on the wedding.
I regret nothing, and I stand by what I said.
Okay. I like you doubling down. You're pulling a Demi Lovato today. I like that. All right. This says, my girlfriend and I have been in a long-term relationship. One night last week, I was just overcome with this wave of desire to be married to her, and I didn't want to wait another minute. We were in the middle of a random conversation when the words just came out of my mouth. I want to marry you. Will you marry me? At first, she was rather confused, said something like blah, 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 blah. Then I said, I don't have the ring or anything, and I wasn't expecting to do this right now, but I just asked you to marry me.
Yeah, that's why you got to blah, 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 blah.
That's why you gotta
Makes sense.
She was unhappy with that, right? She didn't believe it.
He probably wouldn't have had to have repeated himself if he had a ring.
Yeah.
She would have got it.
Yeah, we see shiny stuff and we kind of figure out what's going on.
All right, he continues on to say she said yes, a little in disbelief, but then it sunk in. We were both serious, capital letters, he writes, no ring. No, it wasn't your traditional proposal, but it's very real to me and her. She showed zero disappointment, like you guys said women would have. There was no...
I ain't say that.
Go ahead.
He saw disbelief. It might have been disappointment, buddy. You're just not able to tell the difference.
It might have been disappointment. Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
There was no placeholder ring at that moment, but we consider ourselves engaged now. ... Even without a ring. Cassie.
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's great news.
I'm not done yet. All right, you'll have your rebuttal time.
I thought you were saying you said my name. Like it was it was the engagement ring of here is you can talk now.
I think I heard somebody say it's just kind of part of the tradition. And I understand that. Neither of us are big on tradition. We've known for a while that we were going to be married. We've talked about our future. It just felt right in the time. She said yes, and for us, this is our definition of romantic. At least I think it is. So not all proposals need an engagement ring in the moment. What do you guys think of that? Does that make it less of an engagement because there was no ring? Cassie, now your turn.
I don't think it makes it less of an engagement at all, and it clearly worked for them, but I also don't think that was a planned out proposal. That was a spur of the moment, I love you so much, will you marry me? Which is super cute and worked for them. But I'm saying if you're planning out a proposal, you should have a ring. Clearly he knows his girlfriend, even though she missed the proposal the first time and kept on blabbing about whatever. So it wasn't even like, it was spur of the moment. It's romantic. I'm happy it worked for them. Congratulations. But I feel like that is a very, very rare, like outlier kind of proposal.
Davi.
And I did say, you guys didn't pull this clip, I understand why. But I did say, like, my husband proposed with like a little $20 ring from Dillard's, and I thought it was hideous. So like my initial reaction was, he's like, will you marry me, spend the rest of your life with me? And I was like, bleh. You know, like, because it was not a pretty ring. And I told him that. I was like, I kind of wish that you would have proposed without a ring, and then we could have kept it on the low down, like nobody needs to know, we're low-key engaged, and like it would be like a secret, like secret love. Like I wanted to be engaged as a secret instead of walking around with this janky ring for a few weeks. But you know, immediately he calls his family and my family, and everybody wants to see the ring, and I'm like, it's this ugly ass thing. So I kind of wished there would have been nothing and we would have just been secretly engaged, and I think that would have been still as special, like what they're doing right now.
Mo.
I feel like I was still right because one, I said it's a case-by-case situation and you really have to know your lady, and it seems that he knows his lady. I also said that if you're not going to have the ring, that the proposal has to be grade A. In this case, it was very unique because of how bad it was. It was such a horrible proposal that it ended up being a rare, unique one. So I was right twice.
It was a horrible way to do it, but it was a very unique, horrible way.
Yeah,
is what you're saying, Mo.
Literally no preparation. He's like, we were in the middle of a conversation about, I don't know, Netflix and chilling, and I decided to say, I want to marry you right now. I'm like, that's shocking, and there's zero preparation for that.
That's my favorite take right there. It was so horrible that it was unique that she said yes. All right, Cassie.
For him.
I want to know, are they planning on getting a ring or not? They don't have one right now, but this would only hold true if they kept never getting a ring. Because like I said, the ring is the symbol of the engagement. You don't have to have it by any means. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be $2. But are they going to get a ring? And if so, this whole argument does not work anymore.
I can actually answer that question for you because this was not from a random listener. This is an email that I wrote because this is my situation. Tiffany and I got engaged last week.
No, you didn't.
What?
No, you did not.
No, you didn't.
No, you did not.
Liar.
That way, I swear to you.
Bert! Congratulations.
Are you playing?
Thank you.
With your horrible proposal.
No, this cannot. You can't be playing because
You're
no
lying.
no man's that
Lying.
dumb.
Tommy, hit the bed, and when we come back, I'll tell you exactly what happened. But yes.
You're a liar. Stop.
I swear to you, Tiffany and I are getting married, and that's the way I proposed.
I take back everything I said and I stand by nothing.
So sorry.
God, I'm just sitting here listening and reveling in you guys burying yourself. I couldn't wait to get to this.
Hey, you know I'm a jokester.
Mom was lying. It wasn't horrible. It was perfect.
great.
It was so horrible, it was unique. That's the one I'm going to remember. I'll tell you all about it when we come back.
Listen, it's The Bert Show.
I just told these guys that Tiffany and I are engaged. We are getting married, and they still don't entirely believe it. It's true.
Not a bit.
Shock.
So let me set the whole thing up for you guys. First of all, the universe works in really weird ways, right? So on April 14th, which I believe was last Wednesday, I asked Tiffany to marry me, right? And it was without an engagement ring. So as the universe would have it, we walk in here on Thursday morning, and the first email that we have of the morning is the email from the Bert Show listener that had proposed without the ring. That was the morning after I had proposed to Tiffany that night without a ring, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to tell you guys. And just as the universe would have it, that email came in, right? So we have been debating that back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And what I just told you guys is really the way it all went down. But let me tell you everything leading up to the night, okay? And just how I was feeling about it beforehand. Tommy is already laughing about the whole thing.
I'm sorry. I might need you to go over the email again because I'm like, we just started roasting your proposal. And like,
Tearing you up, fam.
I did. We really did. I don't know why.
Totally roasted it.
Mo was like, "It's the worst proposal of all time," and I don't know why, but I followed him right into the woods. Right into the woods. I was
I
like,
was following Cassie's lead. I didn't know what I was saying.
I said it was romantic, for the record. I said it was super cute and romantic.
This
I said
legitimately...
there was zero preparation.
You guys couldn't have done a better job. I called Kristen yesterday and told her because she wasn't going to be part of the show today. And I'm like, here's what I'm going to do tomorrow, Kristen. And they are going to fall right in line when I tell them at the end that I made the email up, and they are all going to hammer me for 10 minutes without knowing that they were hammering my proposal for 10 minutes. She's like, brilliant, Dobby.
I just want to say congratulations to Tiffany, and I'm sorry for everything I said. And to Bert, I got no congrats for you. You are a trickster harlot. I can't even look at you right
God,
now.
I really couldn't have played out any better. Okay, so leading up to I guess my birthday was on Tuesday, so it was Wednesday. It was the 14th where it all went down. So I guess she and I, when we first started going out 4.5 years ago, she didn't have marriage in her mind at all. She was just a person that really was going to be super happy being unmarried her entire life. And look, I got divorced some time ago, and I'm like, you know what? If this works out and we're down with each other, I don't got to go through a ceremony. We don't have to be officially married. So if it's going to be two people that are going to spend their lives happy together, we don't need to be married. She was on board. That was actually her idea. And I was on board also. Like, it's not important to us, right? So as the relationship developed, we started talking more about it. And she really said, I just feel differently now than I used to. And this was about 2 years ago, I think, that I just want to let you know, I feel a little differently now than I did when we first started going out. And she said, moving forward, I just want you to know I'm pivoting on that position that I would really like to be married someday. For Eliza's sake, she's got a 6-year-old also. And for us too, it felt different for her. And to be honest with you guys, it felt different for me also. So she and I have done just a tremendous amount of growing together over the course of the last 4.5 years. We really have. I have grown. I'm just like her biggest fan. The last year, she's gone on this 1.5 years. She's gone on this spiritual journey, and I've kind of gone with her. And things that we used to not agree on, we might not agree on now, but we see it through each other's eyes really well now. And where that caused friction in the beginning of our relationship. Look, in the beginning of our relationship, the first 2.5 years, I know this doesn't sound very romantic either. We argued once a week. Probably we had a disagreement once a week. And there was a time where I'm like, is this really what I want to do? And she was probably like, well, definitely. She was like, is this really what I want to do? And we stuck it out, and we have really learned to love each other unconditionally. And I just respect and have fallen in love and more in like with her every single day over the course of the last 1.5 years. So where I might have had insecurities about being married as an institution before, I have no nervousness about it, and I am super duper excited. Wow. So we've talked about it. We've talked about getting married, and we haven't really gone officially like, hey, let's go and check out rings or anything, but it's on the table. And I kind of felt in my heart that it would be sometime this year, that by the end of this year, we would probably be engaged. We got a couple of really cool vacations planned right now. And I thought, all right, maybe I'll find a romantic spot. We're planning on going to Croatia in a couple of months. Maybe I could do some research and do something really cool and get down on a knee and all. So that was playing in my head and all. But there we were the other night. And I had no plan going into the day, the night, the conversation at all. And it was as relaxed and unassuming. It was just a conversation we were having between the two of us. And she's like, you know what? I've got a really cringeworthy confession to make. And I'm all in. I'm like, all right. And I had to pry it out of her because it is a little cringeworthy. She said, before we even met, I had a fleeting thought, like, I wonder what it would be like to hang out with Bert. Like, I wonder what it would be like to hang out and be friends and just be with that guy. It was a fleeting thought. So as she's saying it, she's so uncomfortable about it, right? And it wasn't premeditated, but the words that came out of my mouth were, well, then let's get married. And you guys, literally the words that came out of her mouth, because she wasn't taking it seriously, were this. Blah, 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 blah.
Really? Gosh.
That was her reaction to me saying, let's get married. It was literally, I'm not lying, it was blah, 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 blah. And I said, I had to slow the whole conversation down and say, no, I'm really serious. I want to marry you. I said, I don't have a ring. I wasn't planning on doing this. We were literally sitting on my bed. We were just having a regular conversation. And I said to her, I just want to marry you. And she said, she was really taken back. I was taken back. And she said yes. And it became real, but not like a... It wasn't that kind of moment. It just felt right in the time. And that was it. And I know this is probably the least romantic thing any of you guys have ever heard, but it just felt right. It didn't feel forced. When I thought about it before, doing the whole just going over the top and I'm nervous all day, and then I get down on a knee and she realizes I'm nervous all day and she knows a proposal is coming later on in the afternoon, didn't really feel appealing to me at all. And those were the thoughts I had before. And I just I feel right now in my heart, you guys. I said this it's legit because I said it on social media the other day. I am in a place in my life that I have never felt a contentment like I have right now. I have never been happier in my life. I have never been filled with more happiness and living in the moment, and she's the reason. So why would I put that off? So as we were talking, it was a regular conversation. I just was overcome with love and contentment, and the words just came out, and that was it.
Yay!
Wow. That is so cute. I love it. Like you were just, it was like the love, Cupid possessed you and just overcame you and was like, I need to marry this woman right now.
Yes.
I think that is romantic.
I couldn't squash it. And when the words came out, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? It was like, I am ready. This feels as right as anything that I've ever done in my life. And I'm just ready, Mo.
A few things. One, that story sounds way better now that you have told it in its entirety. Congratulations to you and Tiff. I'm
Thank you,
super
man.
happy for both of you. Seriously. And lastly, horrible is a tricky word. You know, like, Horrible Bosses was a great movie. It's a tricky word. You know?
For you guys to understand that, you're going to have to listen to the last segment. But before he knew it was me, he said that was the most horrible engagement proposal that he had ever heard in his life. Dobby.
Yeah, I just feel so special right now. I just feel like such a special girl because you put so much more preparation into jacking with the three of us.
Oh, yeah.
Did your proposal.
Oh, yeah. Not even close.
Like, this is the long con. You've been messing with us for a week.
For sure. So much. Let's see, if I put 20 minutes thinking about this segment in, it was 20 minutes longer than I thought about the proposal. So you're right about that.
Well,
Congratulations
Thank
to
you,
you and
guys.
Tiff.
Thank you. I couldn't be happier.
This is The Bert Show.